There, I did it for you.
Will you stomp his ass out?
You're telling me one man did this. The only thing you know is he's a beekeeper.
A man emerges from his truck carrying 2 massive gasoline containers, his weathered face displaying the kind of determination that comes from witnessing too much injustice. The security guards at the telemarketing building immediately recognize trouble approaching, but they have no idea they're about to encounter someone whose moral compass operates far outside conventional boundaries. This solitary figure represents the last hope for victims who have been systematically exploited by sophisticated criminal enterprise that prey upon society's most vulnerable members. The guards attempt to intimidate him, threats and aggressive posturing, completely unaware that their opponent possesses skills honed through decades of classified operation. When negotiations fail, violence becomes inevitable. The man demonstrates combat ability that seem almost supernatural in their precision and efficiency. Within moments, both guards lie unconscious, and the building's first line of defense has been utterly neutralized by someone who views their criminal enterprise as a cancer that must be surgically removed. Inside the bustling call center, dozens of employees continue their daily routine of defrauding elderly citizens through elaborate phone scams. The atmosphere changes dramatically. The intruder enters their workspace and demands they acknowledge their crimes against innocent people. His request that they repeat a simple pledge never to steal from vulnerable individuals again is met with mockery and laughter from workers who have become desensitized to the human suffering they cause. The man's response to their callousness is swift and decisive. He selects one employee and uses him as an example to demonstrate the consequences of their action, immediately transforming the room's atmosphere from casual amusement to genuine terror. As gasoline flows across expensive computer equipment and sophisticated telecommunications infrastructure, the facility's management attempts to intervene. Their hired security proves completely inadequate against someone whose training encompasses scenarios far more dangerous than corporate theft. The building's destruction becomes inevitable when the intruder connects explosive devices to incoming phone line, ensuring that the next victim who calls will trigger a catastrophic explosion that eliminates the entire operation. Adam Clay represents a unique breed of protector who operates outside traditional law enforcement boundaries. After retiring from an elite covert organization known as the Beekeepers, he has chosen to live quietly on property belonging to Eloise Parker, a retired educator whose kindness provided him with the first genuine human connection he had experienced in years. Her garage became his sanctuary, and their relationship developed into something resembling a family bond that neither had expected to find. 3 days before the call center's destruction, Eloise encountered a sophisticated online scam that would ultimately cost her everything she had worked to build throughout her lifetime. The fake virus alert on her laptop triggered a cascade of events that demonstrate how modern criminals exploit technology to target elderly victims who lack the technical knowledge to recognize these elaborate deceptions. Her panicked phone call to the supposed helpline connected her directly to Mickey Garnett's fraudulent operation. The scammers immediately recognized Eloise as an ideal target when their software revealed access to over $2 million in personal and charitable funds. Mickey's performance as a concerned technician was masterful, combining false urgency with manufactured empathy to manipulate her emotions and override her natural caution. The team celebrated their discovery while listening to Mickey systematically dismantle her defenses through psychological manipulation designed to exploit her generous nature. When Mickey claimed to have accidentally deposited $50,000 into her charity account, Eloise's compassionate response sealed her fate. Her concern for his supposed job security and her desire to correct what she believed was an honest mistake led her to provide the master password that gave the criminals complete access to her life saving. The devastating speed with which they emptied her accounts demonstrates the ruthless efficiency of modern financial fraud. The loss of her money proved too much for Eloise to endure, particularly knowing that the charitable funds she managed belonged to causes she cared deeply about. Her suicide that evening represents the ultimate victory for criminals who never consider the human cost of their action. Adam's discovery of her body, alongside FBI agent Verona Parker, who happened to be Eloise's estranged daughter, creates a complex dynamic that will drive the remainder of the story. Verona's initial suspicion of Adam reflects the natural reaction of a law enforcement officer encountering an unknown individual at a crime scene. Her professional training conflicts with her personal grief, leading to Adam's temporary arrest, despite the absence of any evidence linking him to Eloise's death. The investigation quickly reveals that Eloise was the victim of financial fraud, but the legal system's limitations in prosecuting such crimes become immediately apparent. The revelation that building a successful case against the scammers would be nearly impossible infuriates both Adam and Verona, though they approach the problem from different perspectives. While Verona must work within legal constraints that often protect criminals who exploit jurisdictional boundaries and technical loopholes, Adam possesses resources and skills that operate beyond such limitation. His decision to take matters into his own hands represents a fundamental choice between justice and revenge. Adam's contact with his former organization provides him with intelligence capabilities that surpass those available to federal law enforcement. The Beekeepers Network exists specifically to address threats that conventional authorities cannot handle, making them uniquely suited to track down criminals who hide behind sophisticated technology and international boundaries. Their assistance in locating the UDG call center demonstrates the organization's continued commitment to protecting society from systemic corruption. The destruction of the call center sends shockwaves through Derek Danforth's criminal empire, which secretly finances multiple fraudulent operations through his legitimate technology company. Derek's arrogant response to the attack reflects his belief that wealth and political connections provide immunity from consequence. His relationship with Wallace Westwile, a former CIA director who now serves as his security chief, illustrates how government officials can be corrupted by private interest. The escalation continues when Derek's mercenaries track Adam to Eloise's property, underestimating their opponent's tactical superiority and intimate knowledge of the terrain. Adam's methodical elimination of the assault team demonstrates skills that have been refined through countless similar encounters. His treatment of Mickey, including the deliberate amputation of his fingers, serves both as an interrogation technique and symbolic justice for the man's crime against vulnerable victims. Jessica Danforth's position as President of the United States adds a political dimension to the conflict that threatens to expose corruption at the highest levels of government. Her relationship with Derek as both mother and
I got him. You fucking get him. You
unwitting beneficiary of his criminal activity creates a complex moral situation that challenges traditional notions of justice. The revelation that her presidential campaign was financed through fraudulent means implicates her in the very corruption Adam seeks to eliminate. The introduction of Anisette Landers, an active beekeeper sent to eliminate Adam, reveals the organization's internal conflict regarding his personal vendetta. Their decision to remain neutral after Adam kills Anisette demonstrates respect for his former service while acknowledging that his mission has become a personal matter rather than an organizational direct. Adam's infiltration of the 9 Points call center showcases the full extent of his capabilities as he systematically dismantles Derek's operation.
just out, me and you, we can fix
Despite facing overwhelming opposition, his encounter with Verona during the raid creates a philosophical conflict between legal justice and personal vengeance that neither can fully resolve. The destruction of the facility represents another step toward his ultimate confrontation with Derek himself. Verona's investigation into Adam's background reveals the terrifying truth that he essentially doesn't exist in any official record, suggesting his involvement in highly classified government programs. Her discovery that the man who killed her mother's tormentors operates beyond the reach of conventional law enforcement creates a profound moral dilemma. While she understands the justice in his action, her oath as an FBI agent demands that she pursue him.
I'm assuming you're my replacement.
Regardless of her personal feelings about his mission. The arrival of Lazarus, a hulking mercenary who specializes in hunting former beekeepers, adds another layer of danger to the coastal estate confrontation. His presence demonstrates Derek's desperation and his willingness to employ the most dangerous individuals available to protect himself from Adam's relentless pursuit. When Adam infiltrates the heavily fortified estate by disguising himself as a Secret Service agent, his tactical brilliance becomes evident through his ability to navigate multiple layers of security undetected. His patience in waiting for the perfect moment to strike demonstrates the methodical approach that makes beekeepers so effective at eliminating seemingly untouchable targets. The subsequent revelation of Derek's use of CIA algorithms to manipulate election results exposes the full scope of his crimes against democratic institutions. Jessica's horror upon learning that her presidential victory was achieved through her son's systematic fraud forces her to confront the devastating reality that her entire political career has been built upon criminal foundation. The brutal knife fight between Adam and Lazarus represents more than a simple combat encounter. It symbolizes the clash between those who protect society and those who exploit it for personal gain. Lazarus's defeat eliminates Derek's final line of defense, leaving him exposed to face the consequences of his actions without the protection that wealth and political connections have previously provided. The final confrontation at the Danforth Coastal Estate brings together all the story's elements as Adam faces the combined forces of federal agents, Secret Service personnel.
Will you stomp his ass out, please?
And private mercenary. His revelation of Derek's crimes to President Danforth forces her to confront the true cost of her son's actions and her own unwitting complicity in his corruption. The climactic battle demonstrates that even the most powerful individuals cannot escape justice when they have violated the fundamental principles that maintain social order. Derek's desperate attempt to use his mother as a human shield represents the ultimate corruption of familial bonds by criminal ambition. Adam's decision to save Jessica while eliminating Derek reflects his understanding that true justice requires protecting the innocent while punishing the guilty. Verona's choice not to shoot Adam when she has the opportunity demonstrates her recognition that some forms of justice operate beyond the constraints of legal system, particularly when those systems have failed to protect the vulnerable. His escape into the ocean using hidden scuba equipment symbolizes the completion of his mission and his return to the shadows from which he emerged to serve justice. The waves that conceal his departure carry with them the promise that other predators who target society's most defenseless members will face similar consequences, regardless of their wealth, power, or political connection. Thanks for watching till the end. Your support keeps us going and helps us bring more awesome stories to life. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and stay tuned for the next recap on Addict Recap.